Rabbi Shmuley, I think I'm saying his name right. This dude, following this conflict, seeing his face on the Piers Morgan show. Look, this dude is a bigot, right? We gonna keep it 100 here, right? This dude is a bigot. The things that be coming out this dude's mouth is cringy, right? Cenk, on the other hand, I don't usually agree with everything he says, but I'll agree with him when it comes to this conflict, and his emotion runs high, just like Shmuley. Is that dude even a rabbi? I mean, the stuff that he be saying, it's like, my God, bro, are you a rabbi? Like, what do they teach in rabbi school? Genocidal? Like, you don't know what, I don't know what be going on in this guy's mind. But he be spewing a lot of hatred, man. Right? Shmuley is fully on board with what Israel is doing in Palestine or in Gaza. And he's fully on board. He's on board with all the genocidal that's going on. He's on board with the genocide. He want to see Gaza, wiped out, right? And Cenk wants, ceasefire and for this war to stop. Let's take a listen. I know this right here is going to be insane. Let's take a listen, man.
Coming from America towards Benjamin Netanyahu, but with Chuck Schumer basically implying that he should be replaced as leader in a new election as soon as possible. What do you make of that?
Yeah, it's unprecedented. I think people need to understand what a giant deal this is. The leadership of either party, Democrats or Republicans, have never, ever broken with Israel. Chuck Schumer is one of the biggest supporters of Israel in the whole country. For him to come out and say enough is enough, you've got to turn around, you've got to call new elections, and Netanyahu is damaging Israel is an enormous moment in American-Israeli relations. And he's not alone. Thomas Friedman also.
A lot of supporters of Israel in the past are now questioning their position. A lot of them are starting to, see the light. Put it that way. Like, bro, this is a genocide. This is a Western colonial invasion. This has nothing to do with Hamas. This is about taking over the Gaza Strip completely by pushing out the Palestinians towards, Egypt or these places. Let's keep going.
So an enormous Israeli supporter wrote an article in the New York Times saying that Israel is now radioactive. And so these are not enemies of Israel. And the same goes for me. Allies of Israel saying, please turn around, because this is not good for, look, I care deeply about the Palestinians. I'm not sure that the Schumers of the world or the Bidens of the world have ever shown that. But all of us care about Israel as well. And this is catastrophic for Israel's reputation. And you do not want Israel to be alone in the world again. 21,000 women and children have been slaughtered at a minimum. Now 1.1 million Palestinians are starving as we speak now. You must turn around. Otherwise, this is horrific, not just for...
Right. How is this conflict, the ongoing killing of innocent people, is going to be a positive for Israel in the future? How? After you kill all these people's family, do you know what's going to happen? More radical groups is going to grow out of that, right? pressure burst pipes. Pressure bust pipes. Right? So how is this in the best interest of Israel to keep killing innocent people? Now we up to the 30,000s. Most of it are kids. How is this helpful? Right? The logical thing to do is to cease fire, stop this war, and strategize a new plan. Because this plan ain't working. Right? Netanyahu is, I believe he doesn't want to stop this war because as soon as this war is over, they will push him, out of office. I believe his way to stay in office is by fully, on board with whatever that's going on in Israel and, this operation, quote unquote operation. Let's keep continuing.
For those starving, innocent human beings, but also for Israel itself.
Rabbi Shmuley, I mean, you've been obviously extremely passionate in your support of what Israel's been doing in response to that terror attack on October the 7th. But attacking Rafah, which is a refugee camp right now, with 1.5 million people, the vast majority of whom are completely innocent people, many, many, many hundreds of thousands of women and children. This is going to be a catastrophe if Netanyahu goes ahead with attacking Rafah, isn't it?
The catastrophe for the Palestinian people is Hamas, Hamas, Hamas. If Israel does not destroy the last two military battalions.
Look, bro, as soon as this guy opened his mouth, it's straight black. Bro, what are you talking about? You didn't even answer the question. Israel is dropping bombs on innocent people. You blaming Hamas. Bro, y'all just literally just drop a bomb there. What are you talking about, Hamas, bro? Like, what are you talking about? This dude is brain dead crazy, right? He's a buffoon, man. Oh, my God.
Who are encamped in Rafah, without whom there cannot be more terror attacks. We'll have peace in the Middle East. It's a catastrophe for the Palestinians, whose food was stolen for 18 years before this war by the leadership, Ismail Haniyeh, who's worth $7 billion. Where was the outrage of Cenk Uygur back then? How is it that these guys are flying around in private jets while the Palestinians were suffering for 18 years with no hope? This is not about caring about the Palestinians. It's about pure anti-Semitism. Let's look at March 14th.
Here we go. Anti-Semitism. Here we go, guys. Here it is. Anytime you criticize Israel, it's anti-Semitism. How? Bro, you just literally dropped a bomb right there. Like, we watched you did it. You feel me? Like, you dropped a bomb right there. Yeah. How is that anti-Semitism? Right? Wow, bro. You can't be committing genocide and hide behind anti-Semitism. No. Man, this is, I told you, this guy right here is a lunatic. A lunatic, right? Right? He's blaming the victim instead of the victor. Right? Instead of the people that are committing the crime, he avoid from blaming the people that are committing the crime. He's blaming the innocent people. He's blaming the victims. This dude, man, I can't listen to this dude. Look, if you want to fast forward this video, every time he speaks, just, it's okay, right? This dude is a
date that will live in infamy in the annals of the United States Senate, where a Senate Majority Leader called for regime change of the only democracy in the Middle East. By the way, I want to congratulate, Vladimir
Yeah,
Putin.
democracy.
Real
Yeah, okay.
yesterday, where he only won by
Yeah,
90%
democracy.
of the vote. Schumer did not call for regime change in Russia. He didn't call for regime change. Bashar al-Assad, Israel's next-door neighbor, who killed 600,000 Arabs. He didn't call for regime change in Turkey. My friend Cenk was born in Turkey, where you have the Turkish tyrant Erdogan.
What is this guy talking about?
And imprisons journalists.
What are you saying, bro?
So what does that tell you?
What does that tell you?
Okay, but Rabbi Shmuley, what does that tell you about the strength of feeling in America amongst senior politicians about what its great ally Israel is currently doing? Their initial full-scale support.
It tells me that it's a fair question, Pierce. And by the way, thank you for having me on again. It tells me.
You must try Miro. Before
This
Miro,
is
we've got
insane,
across
man.
different tools: Monday, Jira, Slack, Trello, Asana.
That President Biden, who's a good man, but he's 81 years old, has allowed one city in the United States, Dearborn, Michigan. Michigan is the critical swing state, where you have a congresswoman named Rashida Tlaib, who is a dyed-in-the-wool anti-Semite.
Here we go, guys. Here we go. As soon as you criticize Israel, you are anti-Semitic. Yeah. Just go kill 50,000, 1 million people. Yeah, no. What? So Israel should be running free, right? Doing whatever they want to people with no consequences, right? With no pushback. You're anti-Semitic. Ain't Muslim people also from Shem? Am I tripping? This dude is a lunatic.
One city to dictate the presidential election. This is all about presidential politics. And Chuck Schumer allowed himself to be Joe Biden's court Jew. They needed a Jew to get on the Senate floor and say that the people of Israel will no longer be a democracy. To my friend Cenk, the last time we were on, I said to him, you withdrew your presidential campaign. I'm sorry that you were outpolled by even, SpongeBob SquarePants. But you went back from your presidential campaign. You could run as the chief information officer for Hamas because you parrot their lies about Israel's being genocidal. But I will tell you one thing. How is it that people do not care one bit that the leadership of Hamas have stolen the future of the Palestinian people for 18 years? And only when Hamas is destroyed...
Hang on.
Bro, what are you talking about, bro?
I think, look, a lot of people will share your concern about what Hamas has done in those 18 years. They will also think that Netanyahu has basically admitted that he was perfectly happy with Hamas running Gaza because it separated the Palestinians from Hamas and the Palestinian Authority. But you haven't, in all that rant you've just unleashed about this, you haven't actually answered my question.
Answer the question!
I'll make it, personal to you. You're a rabbi. When you see a refugee camp, that is what it is. When you see a refugee...
Thank you, Cenk. Rabbi. Is he really a rabbi? The things that this guy be saying, is he really a rabbi, man? This is madness. He's not a rabbi, man. Hey, listen. This dude he supports genocide. How is he a rabbi? Right?
Refugee camp with 1.5 million people. They've all been sent there and displaced there by Israel, by the bombardment in the north. When you see this and you see Netanyahu saying we're going to go in for several weeks, surely you don't think this is a good idea for Israel, that you're going to see the wholesale slaughter of innocent women and children?
It's a fair question again. Pierce, let me be clear.
Here we go.
War is horrible. War is terrible. Israel has said that they will move those 1.5 million civilians, but war is always terrible. Has Netanyahu made mistakes, especially when he allowed Qatar to continue to give Hamas $1 billion a year? Yes, he did make those mistakes. I'm personally...
He's basically saying that it's okay to drop, bombs on that camp. That's basically what he's doing. Right? Bro, who allowed this guy on TV, man? He's a bigot, right? He's a lunatic, man. What are we doing here? This is madness, man.
Friendly with Netanyahu. I was critical of that decision at the time. I remain so. But let's be clear. Without 700,000 Americans dying in the Civil War, which is atrocious, we might have had slavery, God forbid. If we didn't destroy Nazi Germany, there was starvation in Berlin. Innocent, beautiful German children. They weren't Nazis. Those who were conscripted into the Hitler Youth. And by the way, young Turks.
He basically saying that we should repeat history. Don't we supposed to learn from history to not repeat it? Especially when it comes to war. Because that's how you commit war crimes. By not committing, right, genocide or war crimes. We're supposed to learn from history, guys. Really? You a rabbi. I'm just a regular guy on YouTube, right? Brand new page. And I have way more sins than this clown. What are we doing here, man? I'm pissed off. Look, I do not have a dog in this fight, but I'm for humanity. I'm for what's right, right? And what Israel is doing is not right. Point blank period, man. And you have this lunatic, right, come on TV spewing hatred, man. What are we doing here? This guy gotta go. That's it.
Turks is essentially the Hitler Youth. I don't know why Cenk uses that name still. He's going back. They were the ones who perpetrated the Armenian genocide. These German children were not responsible. Japanese children were not responsible. Japanese children were not responsible. But without destroying Hamas, there will be war for the next 100 years.
And let me just say that you've gone once again.
They're making Hamas this big superpower boogeyman that's coming for the world, bruh. Really? Really? These are talking points to continue the genocide. Right? By repeating October 7th over and over again, that's a pass for them, right, to go kill innocent people. This guy's crazy.
Very ad hominem with the other guest when he hadn't on you.
I'm not going ad hominem. You cannot use a genocidal name for your podcast.
Let me go to Cenk.
I'm sorry.
Cenk, your response.
Yeah, look, Piers, I wasn't supposed to come on with this guy. I was supposed to come on with a different guest. I'm never coming on with him again. All he has is ad hominem.
Yeah, he's a clown.
About 21 to 25,000 women.
Are you really that afraid of me that every time you use a debate, you say you're
no, bro, you're just a lunatic. Nobody's afraid of you. You're just a lunatic, man.
Let him speak.
You a clown.
You can't run.
Rabbi,
you a clown.
Cenk.
You look like a clown.
Okay.
Right?
Rabbi Shmuley says he wants to murder more women and children and then calls us genocidal because we're trying to protect women and children both in Israel and in Palestine.
Thank you.
You see me sticking up for Israel when Hamas attacks. You see me criticizing Hamas, saying they're terrible, I don't agree with them. You see me trying to protect innocent lives on both sides. Then this guy comes on.
Thank
He
you.
says, kill more Palestinians. We killed, what, 700,000, he said, in another war. So are you going to go to 700,000 in Gaza?
The
Rabbi
Civil War,
Shmuley?
for God's sake. I wish you knew a little bit of American.
Rabbi
you don't know any American
Shmuley,
history.
who says murder,
Read
murder, murder,
Wikipedia,
murder,
for
murder,
God's
murder.
sake.
That's all this rabbi. Hey, okay, I've got to say
Genocidal
one
Jews
more
are
thing.
murderers, Jews are killers.
No, shut up.
Pierce,
can
I ask this man one question? The man
I
who
knew,
ran for president.
I knew it,
anything.
man.
All you ever
These
do
two on
is lie.
TV
Shut up and
is
everything.
comical.
Listen, stop your ad hominems. I want to ask one question, Pierce. Of
my
Cenk.
ad hominems.
If you care about the Palestinians,
Get up.
I have one question. Why don't you call, Cenk, for the unconditional surrender of Hamas today, the release of the hostages, and the war will be over? I am challenging you now to call for the
No.
I don't care about any of
unconditional
your
surrender
stupid
of Hamas.
challenges, and I'm not
Will
going
you
to
do
answer any
so
of your
or not?
stupid
Will
questions.
you do so or not?
No, listen. I'm not entertaining this.
Pierce,
fool
why
of a
won't he
man.
answer the question?
Okay,
Pierce,
he
why
won't
won't he answer the
shut
question?
up. No, there's no talking to this guy.
Let me
Pierce,
check.
there's no
Cenk,
talking to
let me
this
ask
guy.
Cenk. I want to play you a clip, Cenk, of Netanyahu at the weekend. This is what he said.
Okay, can I just, before you do, Pierce?
Yeah.
Look, I hope that everybody in the audience understands that this guy isn't helping Israel at all. He's putting a very, very ugly face to Israel.
Thank
and I
you.
hope that you don't make the mistake out in the audience of thinking that everyone in
Well, I'm
Israel,
gonna come-
or
I'm
God
gonna-
forbid, hold on, let me finish.
Yeah.
Or that anyone else that is Jewish thinks anything like your Rabbi Shmuley does. My Jewish friends are
Right. The common Jews or Jewish does not think like this clown right here. This dude is a colonizer, right? He's a Western colonizer. He a rabbi? Really?
horrified,
Cenk,
by the
Cenk,
death
do me a favor,
toll.
Cenk.
Rabbi
Cenk, you
doesn't
have
care.
said that
The
Jews are
rabbi doesn't
murderers,
care at
killers.
all. He's the most
Come on,
immoral man I have ever
don't-
met in my
don't speak
life.
over each other.
You
All right.
cannot be.
Okay,
wait a second.
go
Wait
ahead,
a
ask-
second.
no,
I asked him a
shut
simple.
up.
Pierce, I asked a simple
And
question.
let Piers ask the question.
I would like to play what Netanyahu said and ask Cenk for his reaction. Here we are from Fox News.
When people tell us don't go into Rafah, that's like telling the Allies, listen, don't go into Berlin, leave a quarter of the Nazi army intact. You know, that's ridiculous. You know, if we leave a quarter of the Hamas fighting terrorist battalions in place, they'll regroup, reconquer Gaza, and in fact, perpetrate once again what they vowed to do, which is to repeat the October 7th massacre over and over and over again.
Here we go.
Cenk, your reaction to that?
Yeah, so this guy has been justifying the slaughter of Palestinians from day one. You have to understand something. In order for Israel to get peace, which should be the goal of its leaders and its citizens, and it is certainly of its citizens, but I don't know, definitely not its leaders at this point in time, you have to get the peace as you did with Egypt. With Egypt, there are no more bombs. You've had peace for over 40 years, and all of the doubters and all the right-wingers and all the warmongers told you, oh, Egypt will never listen. Egypt will keep trying to kill you. Egypt's going to try to kill all the Jews. But they didn't. The warmongers were lying to you, just like they're lying to you today. And why are they doing that? They're doing it because they want to remain in power. Netanyahu knows the minute that this war, and by the way, it's not just Netanyahu, it's also the leaders of Hamas. They should have taken a truce, a ceasefire earlier. They held it up on absurd grounds of not releasing the names of the hostages. So the leaders on both sides profit from this war. But the citizens of Israel are the only people who can change it. The way you get to peace is doing a peace deal. This endless war and the endless occupation is going to prevent you from having the safe haven for Jews that you have desired and deserved all of these years. For God's sake,
Perfect sense, man.
turn around.
He's
Not
spitting
just
right
the
now.
Palestinians,
He's
but the
talking.
Israelis, so you could finally get the peace. If you do not free the Palestinians, look, I know there's PTSD from the Holocaust.
Pierce,
and
I
right
must.
now,
There's a difference between being logical and being emotional, like Rabbi Shmuley. Rabbi Shmuley is an emotional lunatic, man, right? He's purely, genocidal in his speeches. And Cenk is a logical guy when it comes to this conflict. Makes sense. A peace deal. Not keep dropping bombs on innocent people, killing people's family, man. How does that help Israel? Future. How? You're trying to destroy Hamas. You can't destroy an ideology. It's impossible. Right? They might come, out tomorrow and say, hey, my name is not Hamas anymore. It's some other name. But it's the same ideology. You cannot destroy an ideology. That's impossible. And that's an excuse for them to keep dropping bombs on innocent people. That's it.
Israel's acting in a blind rage. Israel's acting in a blind rage at this point. But the Palestinians are not Nazis. They're the Jews. They're the same as the Jews. Victimized. Horribly victimized. Wake up, Israel. Wake up. Please. Don't do the same thing that was done to you.
Pierce, I must respond. These emotional tirades of Cenk Uygur, who sadly, and I'm not saying this to be ad hominem, when we were last on, I begged him, just read a Wikipedia page.
His name is Cenk Uygur, for starters.
The Camp David Accords of 1979, which led to peace with Egypt, was all
he's funny. He's a clown, man.
Military defeat by the Egyptians launched by Anwar Sadat on the 6th of October, 1973, Yom Kippur War, where Sadat thought he'd be victorious, and in the end, his Third Army was completely encircled. They were going to be destroyed, and then Sadat came to the conclusion, definitively, that the only way to proceed is through peace because militarism was destroyed. That's what led to peace. The same was true of World War II with Nazism. The same was true with Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Terrible, terrible events. That with Japanese imperialism.
What is he talking about?
No peace.
He's justifying what's going on. Man.
And my Palestinian brothers and sisters who are not genocidal, but Hamas is. Hamas are Nazis with GoPros. When militarism is destroyed completely, then the Palestinians
guys,
how many people? How many?
Y'all can skip this. This dude is.
Arms do not work.
Okay, but one question.
Cenk Uygur,
this is the Middleman Podcast. You have to listen to both sides. If I wasn't, I would have skipped this dude, man.
My point to you, Rabbi Shmuley, is this: how many more?
By the way, I apologize for that. I'm sorry.
How many more innocent people are you prepared to watch the IDF kill in Rafah in the next few weeks to avenge what happened on October the 7th? Because it is going to be...
Not one. I don't want one innocent
but there are going to be thousands more
as much as a Jewish child.
Thank you.
But they will... If Hamas continues in power, the Palestinians will continue to be brutalized. LGBTQ Palestinians will be castrated. Young Palestinian teenagers.
Oh my God! Look, this right here is
just having a boyfriend at 16. They will die at Hamas's hands.
What are we doing here, man?
Years if Israel does
why
not
would you expect? Okay,
just
let
like
me ask
Assad,
you.
Just like Assad killed 600,000 Arabs.
Why would you expect people in Gaza, after all this, not to want to exact bloody revenge for what is going on in their country? Because the IDF has you have spent months and months and months flatlining Gaza, and you're now about to attack a refugee camp with 1.5 million people in it. Why would you think that doing that is not actually going to present to Israel going forward a worse security threat? Because most independent analysts think it is.
Thank you. How is that beneficial to Israel's future, man? How? Killing innocent people. Killing people's families. What are we doing here, man?
Because my Palestinian brothers and sisters
are as
human as I, and they have the same ambitions for their children, for their future. They know that Hamas was elected to a 4-year term. They're in their 19th year term. They were supposed to share power with the Palestinian Authority. They took the Palestinian Authority officials, threw them off of rooftops and murdered them, and then took $150 billion in international aid and bought private jets for their leaders. They understand that ultimately, that's why even when you see the worst news outlets interviewing Palestinians, they say they're suffering, and they are because of Hamas. But
and they put this guy on a big screen, man. What are we doing?
Brought this war upon them. And I challenge Cenk one more time if he wants to respond, since he says he'll never debate me again, and I wouldn't if he was either, because he doesn't know basic information. Cenk, why do you?
This dude is a lunatic. Nobody want to debate a clown. That's a clown.
Unconditionally, they provoked this war October 7th and released the hostages.
All right, well, okay.
Will you call for that now or not?
You know what? It's a legitimate question. Cenk, your response to that question.
Okay, yeah, but let's just be clear. I'm never going to go on with him again, not because he is a good debater. It's because he's a horrible debater. It's like talking to an ad hominem machine, just one insult after another, not attached to any reality or facts. Okay, now on Hamas. Guys, how many times do I have to say, I don't like Hamas. I don't want Hamas to win. I don't want Hamas to be in power. I want him to surrender. I want him to give all
Nobody
the
want Hamas to be in power.
That's so easy.
Well,
because
that's a clear answer.
Hold on. That's a super clear answer. And do you know what created Hamas? The occupation. Because when you oppress people and you put them in an open-air prison and you take away all their rights and you make them subjugated to another set of people, then radicalism and extremism rises up.
Yes.
What did you think was going to rise up? Gandhi, did you think?
Yes. With oppression comes radicalism. Pressure busts pipes, man. Right? You can't. Oh my God.
Think that moderates were going to rise up when you put 5 million people in an open-air prison, bomb them whenever you like, and starve them whenever you like? Of course they're going to go to extremists who say revenge. And then this constant
Hamas was democratically elected in 2006.
Can you just let me answer a question?
Cenk doesn't know basic facts. They were democratically elected when Israel left Gaza.
What am I going to do with this guy?
The problem with Cenk is Cenk
What am I going to do with this guy?
Rabbi Shmuley,
Next time you did.
Look, I'm done, guys. I'm done. This dude, is a genocide denier. And he supports the genocide that's going on in the Gaza Strip in Israel. And look, sad that we have people like this, man. It's sad. Right? I'm done with this video. I don't listen to this. Guys, just look, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to grow this page. I just started this page, podcast. I'm trying to grow it from the ground up. And with your help, we could definitely get that done. So please, guys, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time.